Hello again, welcome back to the channel. Glad you could join me. I hope you've been enjoying your summer. So today I wanted to talk about a book called The Roaring Trumpet by Sprague de Camp. This is not the version of it that I own. I actually own, it's called the Complete Enchanter. I've got to look. Yes, The Complete Enchanter, which is the first 3 books in the series. Now, the main protagonist in the book is Harold Shea. Harold is a colleague of a psychologist named Reed Chalmers. Reed Chalmers has this theory that the mental patients that his patients suffer from are because their minds are not properly attuned with the world they live in, but they're partially in sync with another parallel universe. And he figures that if he can align their minds correctly, it will cure them of their psychoses. But if he does it the wrong way, if he completely aligns their minds with this the parallel universe, it will transport them from our universe, basically, to the parallel universe. And he comes up with this mathematical formula to realign their minds. But he doesn't really want to put it into practice. He's hesitant to do so. Harold Shea, on the other hand, is not so hesitant. He's not very happy with his life, and so he decides to use this process to project himself into an Irish folklore mythology world. And he thinks that he can set himself up in this other world because of his knowledge of modern science and technology, that he'll be able to really make something of himself in this other world. But the process is not as exact as he thinks it should, as he thinks it is. And he ends up not in Irish mythology, but in Norse mythology. And he finds out that the stuff he tried to bring with him to this other world is now completely useless. He is so completely in tune with this universe that the Boy Scout handbook that he brought with him to, help him with whatever it is, survival and technology and whatever else in a more primitive society, more primitive setting, he can't even read it. His mind now can only process Old Norse. His matches won't work. His knife is completely rusted. And he is dumped into this world at the time of Ragnarok. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Ragnarok, you probably haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. And I'm not saying that's complete it will give you a complete understanding of Ragnarok, but it would give you a little bit of an understanding. He ends up getting found by Odin, who takes him to a farm where all of the gods are meeting, and he ends up befriending one of Loki's servants, Skalva. Shalva. I'd probably pronounce that incorrectly, but there we go. And here at this meeting, he finds out that the gods are not looking forward to the battle and are, in fact, at a disadvantage. Thor's hammer and Frey's sword, the two most powerful weapons at their disposal, have been stolen by the frost giants. So he goes on a quest with Thor, Loki, and Shalva to try to recover these weapons from their enemies. I have mixed feelings about this series. I've read all 4 books that I own. I don't know if there's more in the series. I'd have to go look. Obviously, I've read this first one, which contains the first 3 books in the series, and I own the 4th book as well by itself. I'd have to go and look and see if there is if there's more books that follow after. However, I do like the some of the presentation. I do, maybe I should say presentation, but setting and mythology that's explored. I like that kind of modern day man kind of thing. Obviously, this book was written some time ago. Apparently, in the first time it was published was 1940. So modern is not necessarily the right term, but anyway, we have a man from the modern era, and he is thrust into a world of not just fantasy, but Norse mythology. And so we get the exploration and reactions of a man who would be from our time, our place, and how he is interacting with these mythological settings and the just basically that mythology. And I've always been fascinated by mythology. I ever since I was in grade school and was reading Greek mythology. I know less about Norse mythology. I know some of the basics. Thor is the son of Odin. Loki is the trickster, and has done some weird stuff. I know that Odin sacrificed one of his eyes to gain wisdom, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, I know that the concept of Ragnarok is basically the end of the world, the twilight of the gods, and there are certain things that are foretold about it, like Thor will be killed. I forget by which supernatural creature, whether it's the Midgard serpent or if it's Fenrir. Anyway, so it was interesting to read and interesting to be immersed in that world. But I do have some mixed feelings about the overarching story. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was the Roaring Trumpet that kind of turned me off to the series. I think it was maybe some of the later stuff. I remember liking the Roaring Trumpet and wanting to read more, and then finishing books 1, 2, and 3. And like I said, because I at least started on the books, I did get the 4th book. And like I said, I'm not sure if that's where it ends or if there's more. Maybe I'll look up. It looks like I am missing one. No, 2. Looks like I'm missing 2 of the books in the series. Anyway, that's it for today. Let me know if you've read any of the Harold Shea books in the Enchanter series. Let me know what you thought about them. Let me know if you want to know more about them. As always, enjoy what you're reading, and like, share, subscribe, all that other stuff. And until next time,